Some new lottery winners have dreamed it, others followed a sudden intuition, and a few experienced uncanny synchronicities right before hitting the jackpot. In this video, we'll look at 14 new lottery winners who knew before it happened, where gut feelings, dreams, and hunches turned into massive lottery wins around the world. Number 1. Amanda H's Gut Pick Jackpot, Arkansas, September 2025. For Amanda H. of Baxter County, Arkansas, buying scratch-offs had always been a casual routine. But on September 18, 2025, something strange happened. Standing inside a small fuel stop, she felt an undeniable pull toward a bright gold ticket, the $5 100,000 golden ticket game. She later admitted, "I just had this gut feeling." With nothing more than that instinct, she scratched it right there in the store. At first, she thought her eyes were playing tricks on her. But no, it was real. She had just won $100,000. A single ticket, a single moment of intuition, and her life had changed forever. What makes the story even more gripping is how calmly she described it afterward, calling it a no-way shock she still can't quite believe. But Amanda's story was only the beginning, and the next winner's gut feeling led to something on a scale far greater. Number 2. Christopher Sink's $10 million scratch-off hunch, North Carolina, June 2025. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Christopher Sink stopped at a convenience store on June 26, 2025 for what should have been an ordinary day. But something gnawed at him, a strange, persistent gut feeling telling him to grab a $50 ultimate payout scratch-off. It wasn't his usual pick. It wasn't even in his budget that day. Still, he listened to the instinct. He scratched the ticket and nearly collapsed. Right there in his hands was the top prize, $10 million. Christopher, a construction business owner, described it simply. Sometimes you have a gut feeling and it just happens to be your lucky day. The sheer magnitude of the win left everyone stunned, proving that intuition doesn't just whisper, it can roar. But just when you think it can't get more surreal, the very next story shows how a single dream foretold a millionaire moment that would shake one man's reality. Number 3. Ricky Nunnery Jr.'s dream turned reality, North Carolina, July 2025. For Ricky Nunnery Jr. of Sanford, North Carolina, the lottery wasn't just a game, it was the subject of a dream that refused to leave his mind. Just before a brand new game launched, Ricky dreamed he would hit it big. Most people would brush it off, but Ricky couldn't shake the vividness of it. So on July 11, 2025, he trusted the dream and bought a triple play ticket. Hours later, he was staring at a $1 million top prize, the very first one ever claimed in the game's history. What makes his story eerie is how closely it mirrored the dream itself, almost as if he had glimpsed the future. Ricky's intuition didn't just win him money, it carved his name into lottery history as the inaugural triple play millionaire. And as unbelievable as that sounds, the very next story reveals a man whose dream didn't just hint at luck, it literally told him he'd be a millionaire. Number 4. The Washington, D.C. dream that paid $1 million, March 2025. In Washington, D.C., a man known as Tommy M. went to bed like any other night, but his sleep brought something extraordinary. He dreamed, with startling clarity, that he would become a millionaire. Most dreams vanish with the morning light, but this one stayed with him, etched into his mind. The next day, March 26, 2025, Tommy decided to test fate. He walked into Tenley Market, bought a Powerball ticket, and couldn't believe what unfolded. He had matched enough numbers to win $1 million. His reaction was pure awe. The dream said I'd be a millionaire, he told lottery officials, as though destiny itself had whispered the outcome to him. It wasn't luck alone, it was a premonition turned real, a vision that guided his hand. But just as shocking as Tommy's dream was, the very next story shows how another North Carolina man's gut pull would double into millions. Number 5. Donnie Leviner's $2 million gut pull, North Carolina, 2024. For Donnie Leviner of North Carolina, winning wasn't something he carefully planned. It was something he felt. On an otherwise ordinary day in 2024, Donnie walked into a store and was drawn, almost magnetically, to the big cash payout scratch-off game. He didn't debate it, didn't second-guess. He simply followed the pull of his gut. Moments later, the ticket revealed its secret. Donnie had just won $2 million. The shock on his face said it all. Intuition had spoken louder than logic. Lottery officials recalled how calm yet stunned he seemed, as though he had known deep down that the ticket was waiting for him. It's one of those rare wins where instinct outshined reason, changing a man's life forever with one spontaneous choice. And while Donnie's $2 million proved how powerful gut feelings can be, the next case shows a Maryland player whose dream turned into a jackpot on a cold December night. Number 6. The Maryland Dreamers $50,000 Pick 5 win, December 2024. It was just an ordinary football night for one man from Edgewood, Maryland, until an unusual feeling swept over him. As the game played on, a lottery ad flashed across the screen, and something deep inside him told him, "Tonight is the night." Instead of brushing it off, he leaned into that sudden wave of confidence. He even asked a stranger for advice on numbers, letting intuition guide every step. The next day, he discovered his Pick 5 ticket was worth $50,000. He described the moment as surreal, saying he felt like everything in the universe had lined up perfectly for that win. What's more, it wasn't careful planning or strategy that brought him there. It was that inexplicable gut energy, that sense that everything was right. But as striking as a dream-turned win is, our next Maryland story proves that even an everyday hunch can spark a six-figure jackpot. Number 7. Maryland's $100,000 Intuition Win, 2025. In Maryland, a woman found herself standing in front of the lottery display, staring at a sea of choices. Logic told her to pick one of her usual games, but something deeper urged her in a different direction. She couldn't explain why, just a nudge, a quiet voice inside that said, "Try the $100,000 fortune ticket." Trusting her gut, she bought it, scratched it, and watched in disbelief as the numbers revealed a $100,000 prize. She later admitted that it felt almost destined, like the ticket had been waiting for her hand to find it. The win was life-changing, but more than that, it was proof of what can happen when instinct overrides routine. A fleeting inner pull turned into a six-figure reality. And yet, if dreams and hunches can bring fortune, what happens when a dream is so vivid it feels like a prophecy? That's exactly what happened in Massachusetts. Number 8. Howard Kendall Jr.'s Prophetic Dream, Massachusetts, July 2024. For Plymouth resident Howard Kendall Jr., the dream was so vivid it jolted him awake. In it, he saw himself buying a $4 million diamond scratch-off ticket, down to the details of holding it in his hand. The image stuck with him through the morning, and instead of dismissing it as fantasy, Howard acted. He went straight to a nearby store and bought the exact ticket from his dream. Then came the revelation. It wasn't just imagination. The ticket revealed $1 million, the top prize. Howard later said, "It felt as if the dream had mapped out his destiny, a roadmap to riches he couldn't ignore." His story has since stood out as one of the clearest examples of intuition crossing into prophecy. But while Howard's dream pointed him toward a ticket, another man's sign came not from sleep, but from something as simple as a fortune cookie message. Number 9. John Carter's Fortune Cookie Sign, North Carolina, August 2024. For John Carter of Trinity, North Carolina, the clue to his fortune came at the end of a Chinese takeout meal. Inside the fortune cookie, a slip of paper read, "Don't miss out on your chance to win big." Most people would laugh, crumple it up, and move on. But John couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a message, it was a nudge. The very next day, guided by that spark of intuition, he walked into a store and bought a $5 pot of gold scratch-off. The result? A staggering $200,000 win. John later said the coincidence was too perfect to ignore. One night a fortune, the next night a fortune realized. It was a reminder that sometimes the universe speaks in whispers, if we're willing to listen. And speaking of unexpected signs, across the world in Australia, one player's daydream would lead to a jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar jackpot. Number 10. The Australian daydreamer's $60 million Powerball win. Australia, 2025. In Australia, one Powerball player's life turned upside down thanks to nothing more than a daydream. The winner, who had played occasionally in the past, couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary was about to happen. While others brushed off their impulses, he decided to act on his. He purchased a ticket for the Powerball draw, and when the numbers rolled in, his gut had led him straight to an astonishing $60 million jackpot. What makes his story even more remarkable is that he described feeling a sense of certainty in the days before the draw, as if the universe was whispering in advance. When the confirmation came, shock gave way to tears, laughter, and disbelief. That daydream had turned into destiny. But Australia wasn't the only place where intuition changed everything. In Ireland, one man followed a hunch in the rain, and it led to a Eurodreams windfall. Number 11. Ireland's rainy day Eurodreams win, Ireland, 2025. In Ireland, one Eurodreams winner swore the weather itself pushed him to play. On a gloomy, rain-soaked day, he had no plans to buy a ticket. But as he passed a shop, a sudden gut feeling hit, an unshakable urge that he couldn't explain. Despite the downpour, he stepped inside and purchased a Eurodreams ticket. Days later, that split-second decision transformed into a life-changing jackpot. He later described the moment as surreal, saying it felt as though the rain was guiding me. To him, it wasn't just chance, it was a sign. That eerie push from the universe turned dreary weather into a memory he'll never forget. And while his story sounds remarkable, he wasn't alone. Across the Atlantic, another winner's dream of riches became so vivid, he woke up convinced he had to play, and his prophetic vision came true. Number 12. Madathil Mohandas Number Tug, Dubai, 2025. For Madathil Mohandas, a 69-year-old Indian expatriate in Dubai, luck came through the number 56, his age and his best friend's motorcycle plate. After 2 decades of buying tickets, that number gave him a strange tug of intuition. He bought into the Dubai duty-free Millennium Millionaire draw, and it finally paid off, a $1 million jackpot. For Mohandas, it felt like destiny had been waiting for this exact moment. But halfway across the world, an Illinois woman's flash of instinct proved just as life-changing. Number 13. Corrine's Fast Play Flash, Illinois, 2025. In Illinois, Corrine was online when a sudden gut flash told her to hit play on Fast Play Quick Spot. She followed the nudge, spending $10. Seconds later, the screen confirmed she'd won $78,472. Corrine said the win felt like it came out of nowhere, pure intuition guiding her at the perfect moment. Had she hesitated, the chance might have slipped away. And just months earlier in California, another hunch produced one of the biggest jackpots in history. Number 14. Yanira Alvarez's Holiday Hunch, California, December 2024. After Christmas 2024, Yanira Alvarez nearly skipped buying a Mega Millions ticket, but a powerful holiday hunch told her she shouldn't walk away. That ticket went on to hit $1.22 billion on December 27th, making her one of the largest lottery winners in U.S. history. Alvarez later said she had no system or strategy, it was just a feeling. One instinctive purchase turned festive downtime into record-breaking fortune. And with stories like these, the question lingers: what if your next hunch is the one that changes everything? What about you? Have you ever had a dream, a sign, or a gut feeling that seemed to point you toward something big? Share your story in the comments below. If you enjoyed these real-life tales, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss the next story of destiny, luck, and intuition.